Welcome to the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Friday, July 15th. Over the next several days, we'll continue to have warm and hot temperatures across the Great Basin. We will also continue to have thunderstorms across the region. Today, thunderstorms will continue in many of the same areas that they have been, with wetter thunderstorms over much of Utah and also into eastern Nevada, and a mix of wet and dry storms across Idaho and on the fringes in northern, central Nevada, and also into southern Nevada. These thunderstorms over parts of southern and western Nevada may increase fire potential today, as many of those areas have still been very dry. However, we did see recent moisture over far southern Nevada. Gusty winds will also occur today across Idaho, but expand on Saturday as we see drier air move into the northern half of the Great Basin with a trough off the northwest coast. We will see winds increase, and also this will push thunderstorm activity further south. On Sunday, winds will still remain breezy over southern Idaho into northern and western Nevada, but thunderstorms will quickly return to the north and push into northeast Nevada and possibly southern Idaho. Over the last 24 hours, we've seen plenty of thunderstorm activity over the southern and eastern half of the Great Basin, even pushing back into central Nevada. Thunderstorms were quite wet over southern Nevada into the Arizona Strip and parts of Utah, and also we did have some wetting rains over parts of southern and eastern Idaho. We did see some early morning thunderstorms today over parts of central Idaho, which were on the drier side. Great Basin fire activity yesterday was moderate, with a reported 35 new fires. Most of those were on the small side and scattered across the Great Basin with the lightning, but we did have one new large fire in northeast Nevada. Over the last 7 to 14 days, precipitation remains over the eastern half of the region with the monsoon moisture, with still very dry conditions over southwest Idaho into the western half of Nevada. Fuel moisture has increased over parts of Utah with the continued moisture, but still remains very low over southern and western Nevada into southern Idaho. The satellite loop from this morning shows the Four Corners High continuing to pump moisture across Utah into far eastern Nevada and up into Idaho with continued thunderstorm activity. Drier conditions remain over the western side of the Great Basin, and the trough off the northwest coast will move eastward, and that will increase winds just a bit, but also push some drier air over the northern half of the Great Basin for tomorrow. Looking at our weather pattern for later today, again, very similar story with the thunderstorms continuing to affect much of the same areas. We could see increased fire potential in some areas of central Nevada and also into parts of the southern portion of the Ely district into the higher elevations of southern Nevada. But we did have some good moisture yesterday in the lower elevations of southern Nevada. We will also continue to see lightning activity further east. However, that lightning activity in Utah will definitely be on the wetter side. Showing the thunderstorms for today, again, you can see the increase in lightning over parts of central Nevada, still some isolated activity down over the southern part of the Ely district, and lightning activity over northern Ely will probably be a little bit on the wetter side. Winds will increase a little bit today across Idaho with gusts mainly in the 20s and also some typical breezy zephyr winds along the Sierra front. Looking at the relative humidity, it will remain quite low over northern Nevada into southwest Idaho into the single digits and higher as you go further east and south. As we move into Saturday, that drier air again pushes in over the northern half of the Great Basin, decreasing our lightning activity and pushing it further south. So we don't have any high risk on Saturday. We'll continue to watch as this dry air moves in if we continue to see any isolated lightning that could be on the drier side and faster moving around the periphery. So watching that activity for Saturday, we'll keep an eye on central and eastern Nevada for any areas of drier type lightning. Otherwise, most of the activity will be pushed into southern areas of the Great Basin. Relative humidity will also be dropping with this drier air, mainly in the teens, region-wide with some areas in the north in the single digits. We will see those winds again breezy along the Sierra front into parts of central and southwest Idaho. Again, most of those gusts in the 20s or right around 30 miles per hour. On Sunday, that moisture quickly pushes back north, so we'll see a return of lightning activity to the southern half and eastern half of the Great Basin. And again, those lightning activity could be most concentrated over western Utah into eastern Nevada and southern Idaho, and also in the higher terrain of Utah and the Arizona Strip. Winds may be increased just a little bit on Sunday along the Sierra front and into central and southern Idaho. We'll keep an eye on that for any high risk, but right now it looks like gusts still right around 30 miles per hour. Relative humidity generally remaining in the teens. Forecast amounts of precipitation are in areas that we've continued to see precipitation with better chances of wetting rains into the higher terrain of Utah, but also some showers over parts of central and eastern Nevada. As we move into Monday and into through early and mid next week, we'll see a very similar pattern to what we've been seeing, with that Four Corners high continuing to dominate and push moisture over southern and eastern areas of the Great Basin. May have still some dry air moving into Idaho, diminishing any lightning activity on Monday, but otherwise further south and east will continue with that lightning activity. On Tuesday, very similar story, with that activity possibly pushing a little bit further north into Nevada. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, that moisture remains in place for continued thunderstorms. We'll have to keep an eye on this tropical feature off the Baja coast. It will continue to push away from the Great Basin, but some moisture out ahead of it could be pulled north into the monsoon moisture, with possibly some heavier rains later next week or next weekend, but we'll keep an eye on that. 7-day total precip is not a whole lot different than the 3-day. Thunderstorms continue in some of the same areas. And then the 8 to 14-day outlook from July 22nd through the 28th still shows continued above normal temperatures across the Great Basin, especially in the north and west, and below normal precipitation over northern and western areas. Looks like the monsoon moisture will continue to take hold on the Four Corners area, so we'll continue to see thunderstorm activity and moisture mainly across Utah, the Arizona Strip, and at times southern and eastern Nevada. That concludes our webcast for today. Check back tomorrow for the latest updates.